Alright, so we already went over basically everything that goes behind creating the app. Now we're actually going to show what it does. Now we're going to click here and create my Emory Path. And it's going to take a while, blink a little bit. And you can see that it immediately accesses my camera. And what I'm going to do is I clicked on start a new map. And once I start walking, you can see now those little nodes, little shapes, they're spheres. And as I'm walking, I'm dropping those wherever I go. Now, I don't know if I'm moving the camera a little bit too much, but you can see a little green spot starting to come up. And the app actually uses a lot of object recognition. So it is ideal that when you're in rooms or like in very specific places, that you take a little bit more to have the camera visualize very well where it's going, because it's able to later on recognize the objects that it's looking at. And right now I'm really just walking around one of the main entrances of the business school. And as I'm walking around, I'm really just leaving all those little nodes as I go. And again, you see the little green squares starting to pop up. The lighter the square, it means that the more salient this point is. So it's going to be able to recognize it easier once we start trying to read the map. So as you can see, I was pointing it earlier. It's still trying to recognize all of its surrounding. It's not super necessary that you do it when you're like in hallways or in open spaces, but once you're in like specific rooms, it's always better to do it, but it doesn't hurt to do it here either. And you can see right now it's still trying to recognize, and as I've been walking, I've been pretty much, I want to close the loop right here, so I go into it, and yeah, as I'm just gonna walk. I'm walking over to the Delta room. This is really just an example of what the app is capable of doing, and I'll just fast forward it here a little bit. But first, let me show you. As I'm walking, I'm leaving behind all the little nodes. And once I reach here, my destination, I didn't want to walk too far along, but we're here, and I'm going to click on create destination. So I'm going to point down, and you can see that this specific node is a little bit more special. It's the destination one, and I'm just going to click on save map. And what it's going to do now, it's going to upload all the little nodes. It's going to upload them to the remember the place node SDK. And basically the path is now uploaded into the server, and anyone with the API key that we had earlier, anyone who has that is going to be able to access this map at this time. I came outside again, and now what I'm doing is really just pointing the camera. Remember all the little green dots that we had? Now it's trying to recognize where it is. It not only uses object recognition, but also GPS position. So between the two, it's trying to recognize where it is. And it does take a while to do it, but now you can see right here. It's basically remembering where it left all the nodes. And there you go. It's pretty amazing how it's able to turn those nodes into the little arrows pointing you where to go to. And it's ideal because, you know, if any international kid, exchange kid, freshman, anyone who's coming into campus for the first time is trying to get from point A to point B, this app is going to let them travel, you know, navigate through the campus without having to stop to read maps, and it's a very easy way to do it. Now, I don't know if you realized before back there, but we did loop around the exits, and once I was walking, it was directing me through the left exit, and what it did there was actually trying to recognize which way was the shortest way to get to my destination. So it also is capable of finding the shortest way. And as I'm walking towards my destination, you can see right here, it's going to show me right there, and that I've reached where I am.